Hello and welcome to a very interesting video. Today we're going to take a look at Dune Awakening. It is a pre-order news per se. And yes, before you say anything, I know a lot about pre-orders, and of course there will be a big PSA on it, and it is do not pre-order any games if you are uninformed. Number one. Of course, number two is if you want to, or it is for people who wants to pre-order, I want you to be as informed as best as you can. Try not to buy by just fanboying or fangirling. Basically, if you're a big fan, even though I'm a big fan, I need to go through some of this information, which we're gonna go through. Hopefully, this is informative enough for you. And if the decision is, I'm not saying decision, if the information is good enough, I think it's okay to pre-order. That is if you don't mind the risk. There is always a risk in pre-ordering games, and the number one risk, and always, right, it has been and always be the expectation of a game. Simple as that. All right, so that's my number one and only PSA. Never pre-order unless you are informed and you know the risk, and like if you really want to get into it. I've pre-ordered a lot of games before, and half of them easily it's something that I am that I would say, yeah, it's disappointing. Okay, disappointing. And so with that, let's take a look at Dune Awakening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button and help this channel grow. And of course, if you find this video informative enough, you can give me a thumbs up. And of course, subscribe. If you think it's not great, yeah, thumbs down. Hey, and let me know down in the comments below. Whew. Okay, starting up with, all right, game editions. Now, number one is I don't really like game editions. All right, you know what? I'll say it out. Okay, games should just have only one edition and one edition only done, all right, which is the game and everything in it. Okay. And it's tough. Okay, it's tough. We want to see how predatory the game editions are. Okay, that is the key thing. Do note I'm looking in Canadian dollars, so it is $65 base version. Okay, so we want to take a look later. All right, so basically all the news, right, so the business model, which we want to look at it as well, because this is also one of the key decision that I will make, or rather I would say, see if this is one of those red flags out there, okay, for games that have game editions and then microtransaction and yada yada yada. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of single player microtransaction games, number one. Number two, let's double check if this is a live service game, because Conan Exiles, I'm going to actually closely relate to Conan Exiles. And one of the big thing is because it is the same developer, okay? And I would say straight up, if Dune Awakening is exactly the same as Conan Exiles, I think we are okay. I am okay with it, okay? Simple as that. Because Conan Exiles is a fun game. And it is not I wouldn't say it's not content dry. It is a sandboxy game. And of course, they did improve the game throughout the years, which I appreciated. And I'm going to tell you this. I was skeptical at Conan Exiles when they started, okay? Literally, I did not pre-order. I did not do anything. And I saw the game grow. Yeah, it's still fun. Still fun. I can easily play back right now. The only difference is I want to play this. Okay, so there we go. Ultimate Edition. Okay, we don't see about this yet because we're gonna go down there. Starting off with pre-order rewards. This is one of those catch that I would say you might fall into a trap. Okay, a lot of games like to do this, so I don't care about this guy. Now we want to look at this, the Deluxe and Ultimate Dish. Oh, Deluxe and Ultimate. Oh my goodness. Personally, this is one red flag. Okay, I'll put it this way. one red flag because I don't like to see a lot of addition. And like I said, I just want to see one game, you get everything. Simple as that. Okay. Deluxe edition. Okay, we're gonna check this later because I have the chart open. Ultimate edition, and then ultimate edition. Okay, cool. We're gonna go through this after this first, right? Make sure your PC can run the game. Now, one of the biggest disappointment, even though everything checks out, like okay, cool, I can play the game. I like the game. No, I like the game, I know the risk, and suddenly, bam, my PC cannot handle. That is from Monster Hunter Wilds. Okay. A lot of people run the benchmark. Benchmark is like, okay, you pass, but when it comes to the game, it's crazy, right? So make sure your PC can run the game. So what you want to do is you want to check your benchmark. And of course, if your benchmark mode is not that great, which is, for example, if you cannot hit a stable 30 FPS, then prepare for even more laggier. Because benchmark usually they don't showcase everything, and this is technically I would say a semi live service. Okay, it's not really a live service, but it's kind of live service, right? This is a textbook live service game. Let's be honest, right? Because if there's season pass and whatnot, live service. And anything live service, they will add on a few things here and there throughout the years, and then you get heavier. What if you went through in a peak day where a lot of people log in? Yeah, you're gonna get lots of luck. So bear in mind for this. So let's take a look at the edition. Okay, we have standard, deluxe, and ultimate. Okay, you know what? Let's dive in. Let's dive in. Okay, base game. Everyone has a base game. Terrarium. Okay, so pre-order, we don't care about that. Season pass is not included in the standard edition. Very staple in a lot of games these days. Even though I say staple, I still don't like it. Alright, I'm gonna say it out. I don't like it. Armor, we don't really care too much. Sure, it's a Sardaukar armor, but I like. Okay, I played Dune 2000 from Westwood Studios. That was my introduction to Dune, to be honest. Then the movie, then the books. Basically, I went backwards. And I like the. Right, I want the old school, or not say old school, the I would call it the vintage Sardaukar armor. So if we go look at what we have right now, this is like, meh. I don't really care. Right? It's not. It doesn't have that feel. Even if I can get the movie edition, that's also cool. But yeah, it doesn't scream Sardaukar enough. Okay. Maybe some of you guys will like it. Okay. But for me, aesthetic wise, can be better. That doesn't feel menacing enough. Probably the color scheme. You know what? Yeah, probably the color scheme. Okay, anyway, so that's that. Alright, so that's for the deluxe edition. Basically, you get a season pass and an armor. We want to know how much as well, because I did this for another game that I was interested in. However, that game have a very rough launch. All right, that's the reason why you don't want to pre-order. You want to wait a little bit, because if it's a live service game, the server is gonna get slammed. Okay, and if the company, if Funcom is not prepared, yep, expect dissatisfaction. All right, so one of the game I'm talking about is Wayfinder. I used, not say I used to cover it, I covered it one time before, and oh boy, it's a roller coaster ride. Turns out at least the game is still playable. Okay, single player. They switched to single player, which I think that's their best call. Okay, the downside is I didn't get what I wanted or what they marketed to me in the beginning. So that's the reason why I want to do this as informative as best as I can, and hopefully I touch all the points that I was dissatisfied in the older, right, or rather my pre-order history. So that's that. Okay, so deluxe edition, in to me, we want to see how much it costs. Okay, head start this is literally a gimmick, I don't really care. Because Dune Awakening is not an MMO per se. Sure, it has that multiplayer thingy, but if you play Conan Exile, it's not really an MMO. Okay, it's not a tried and true MMO, so that the head start doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Okay, so this thing is a moot. Season pass is nice. This armor is plus. Now, Ultimate Edition. All right, Ultimate Edition, you get a building set. Okay, cool. You get a Dune 2021 Film Steel suit. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Let's see, look at the steel suit, right? So it's this guy over here. You get your, what do you call this? The building set. Now, the question is the building set just the interior only, or is it exterior, or is it a full package? I would say most likely what you see is what you get, okay? Let's put it this way. The expectation is what I see is what I get. So mostly it's the items. I don't think the tiles. if they give me the tiles and stuff, that would be cool as well, okay? But I'll just put it as that. Digital art book, soundtrack, cool. Ornithopter swatch, Dust Rider sandbike swatch. So basically skin, in-game stuff, not a big deal. This too is probably the only reason why you want to get the Ultimate Edition. But before we do any of that, we want to double check. Okay, Ultimate Edition grants you 4 DLCs. Okay, we want to double check this because I just saw this and now we want to take a look at Dune Awakening Deluxe Edition. Season Pass includes 4 DLCs. Okay, so in this case, the Ultimate Edition is just fluff, right? If you really want to fluff it up, then yeah, the question is how much, right? We want to see how much it costs. So that's that. And before we go to the price tag, we want to take a look at their business model, right? Because all you need to know is the base, right? The base game is $65. This is in Canadian dollars, and I think it's okay for now, because most base game goes quite expensive. So 79, I think, in general. So yeah, 79. Then Dune Awakening in general, just wait it out. Okay, I'll say this: 65, okay-ish for now, right? Okay-ish for now. If it's 79, I would say just probably wait for discount, because you are in no rush playing Awakening. I'll put it this way, unless you're a big fan. All right. The only difference is if you're a super big fan, then sure. Because I joined Conan Exiles quite late, and I didn't really miss out a lot. That's it. Yeah, sure, there's a lot of things to do in the beginning, and I think that's a great thing as well. So that's that. But I want to cover this as much in day one. So price point, like I said, 65. Okay. All right, let's take a look at their business model. All right, I'm gonna watch the video. In short, Dune Awakening, tongue twisted. Okay. Dune Awakening launches on the May 20th. Now, the most important tag is it will not be in early access, which is good. But at the same time, we want to take a look at if there is any content, like sort of a content cut. Some games like to do it like this, right? They launch the game and then they let you give you DLC, and technically the DLC is the full game itself. So Alright, small little flag over here, but good to know it is it is not early access, it is a full launch. So that's one. Number two, no subscription. Follow their Conan Exiles, they don't really have subscription, that's why I don't call it an MMO. Alright, you just pay and then done, you can play. Alright, if you want DLC, then you buy the DLC. And if they follow exactly like what Conan Exile do, there's only 1 or 2 DLC that you care. Most of the DLCs are mainly cosmetics in general, and 1 or 2 extra, I would say, it is not quality of life stuff. It's just you get access to a little bit more exotic stuff. Then that comes to the question, is it pay to win? Answer is still no, okay? Answer is still no, because you don't really lose out a lot. In fact, I don't think you lose out anything other than cosmetic. Yeah, I don't think you lose out anything other than cosmetic, except one or two, I would say, proper expansion, not DLC. All right, I don't want to use the word DLC. Okay, so that's that. So nice to see. This is following the same business model as Conan Exile. So if you're curious, you can take a look at Conan Exile. It's the same thing, according to this line over here. Next up, Funcom has been developing supporting service, live service game. All right, so they have 3 MMOs. All right, they want to call it MMO, fine. All right, Anarchy Online. So I played Conan Exiles, which is nice. All right, so DLC expansions and lots of free updates. And I've played it. You just have the base game and you really get a lot of free stuff. Like most of the season pass, air quote, it is technically free, all right? Of course, the free tier, and yeah, that's all you need. You don't really need to buy a lot of stuff, just expansions. Probably the expansion is critical for, because Conan Exiles has 1 or 2 extra map that is expansion lock. Good news is you don't really need to buy the expansion in order to enjoy Conan Exile. So I hope Dune Awakening is the same thing. Just buy the base version, one and done. Okay, so there we go. Launch is only beginning. Okay, so system requirements. All right, so you want to check your system requirements. I'm gonna load up this guy, and we will take a look a little bit deeper. 60 GB. Okay, so 1080p 30 FPS. That is low. I will see. Okay, 16 gig of RAM. Oh, that's decent. GeForce GTX. Oh, we need GTX 8. Okay, so it's a decent settings. I'll probably test out. I test out on the Steam Deck, okay? And I'll tell you if it's playable or not. Because Steam Deck, the benchmark is okay. It is like probably at the minimum level, right? Barely just pass. In fact, I don't think it's just pass. I think it's just enough for me to say, okay, you know what, I can handle it. But most people, you won't get a smooth game on Steam Deck unless you do a heavy tweak. So that's one of it. All right, I'm gonna test it out on Steam Deck. We don't care about the medium ultra and all this, because if you have a beefy PC, then great. Surprisingly, everything only just 16 GB of RAM. Curious. What about graphics? So from 1060 to 2070 to 3070 to 4070. Wow, not even, oh, interesting. GTX 1060. Huh. Okay, I'll take it. Next up, all right, of course, obviously, just run your benchmark mode as best as you can. PC settings. All right, so I'm not going to go through all of this. All right, live gameplay launch stream March 24th. Ooh. Yeah, no. All right, so that's that. Okay, so that's all I have for this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the price. Then we will do the final, I will do the final probably judgment. No, I'll give my final opinion on whether it is it worth, really worth going for pre-order if you are really a big fan. All right, this is only for people who wants to play on day one. And I would say this, okay, this is my criteria for day one game. Number one, it is one of those games that you wait for quite some time. That's number one. Number two, this would be your main game per se, or mainstay. I want to use this because if you play, I won't say you play on a daily basis, okay? No, not. If it's your daily basis player, this game will run dry in content very fast. Truth to be told. What I mean is like you will probably play like every weekend, at least you put up 1 or 2 hours, or you know, throughout the week you put a little bit of time, you know, explore here and there, and you know this is one of those games that you can play, or you want to play for an extensive period of time, and that is at least, okay, 3 months. How do I put it this way? For people who play MMORPG games or MMO games in general, 3 months is nothing. Usually people I won't say commit, but they will sink at least 6 months worth of not say 6 months worth, a 6 months period, all right, on a weekend basis. Okay. And that is like 1 or 2 hours a week, right? Some people says, "Oh, that's very little." It's like, no, 2 hours a week is actually is kind of, yeah, it's kind of little. It's not everyone has the time to play every day. Come on, I'll put it this way. But if you're playing half an hour every day, yeah, sure, sure. That's the second thing. Number three, if you have friends to play with and you know it's one of those things that you're gonna play more than a week, because a lot of games, you once you finish the game, usually, right, usually it's about, okay, I cannot use the word week because week is very like, yeah, like day and week is kinda not very accurate. So I would probably put, if you're gonna play 1 hour a day, yeah, easy, this is gonna be a game that you can enjoy. Obviously 1 hour a day you might hit a content, the end, not say end of the content, like the content will dry up easily, right? 1 hour a day, probably in a week or two, easily. That's the reason why I say usually I base on a weekend. Like weekend, you put 1 or 2 hours, you probably can stretch out at least 3 months before you feel it's like, oh, I probably almost did everything. But again, it is MMO, so there are a few things to grind. That's for sure. I will base on my Conan Exiles timeline, not say timeline, but the experience I have Conan Exiles. Usually I play about 1 hour a day, right? And the content, where I will feel or hit the end game content in about 2 to 3 weeks. Once I hit 2 to 3 weeks, then I'll start grinding a little bit. It's still like, oh, I want to get all the cool stuff. By the time after a month, that's where it becomes okay. I've done all I can do, or whatever I have at that moment, and then wait for the next patch or next content patch. Yep. And it is one of those games that I will not play every day, that's for sure. So that's that. All right. So that's from my opinion. And let's take a look at the price tag, shall we? Okay, so let's see. $65 base version deluxe. Oh, look at that. $90, 90 Canadian dollars. Okay. For deluxe, I'm paying 65, $25 more. $25 more for the DLC. Okay, and that's 4 DLCs. I can easily call it out. Most likely it's gonna just be cosmetic DLC. So, all right. And then after that, we pay extra. Wow, we are paying almost half for, if we are comparing to the base version, for all the fluff. Okay, so from DLCs, 90 to 117, so you're paying extra $27 on top. If you buy the on top of the season pass, you get $27 art book, soundtrack. Oh, this is, wow, this is, I would say, borderline not worth it. In general, nobody, no, okay, I'll put it, the reason is nobody really cares about the soundtrack. I might be wrong, let's put it this way. Art book, once you read it a little bit, yeah, it's done already. So I would say, interesting. Okay, let's say soundtrack. Right? Soundtrack, I value it at $10 extra, right? $9.99. Art book, another $9.99. Yeah, no, Ultimate is really hard to say anything. I'll be frank. Yeah, this is tough. This is tough. Uh, Deluxe edition. Again, we do not know how much are they gonna charge for DLCs, so that's also another risk. This too is a risk. Okay. One of the biggest risks is of course the DLC. Okay, DLC. The Ultimate is very easy to check because Ultimate they don't have DLCs, and I don't think they will change a lot. Like the building set, you know, it's gonna be a building. It's an in-game building set. The film steel suit, maybe they are trying to bang on this to people to buy the Ultimate. I am partially contemplating right now, but I have to be true to myself, and I would say, oh, yeah, we're gonna take a true look at the publisher sale. Okay, you know what? In true honesty, base game. You don't really lose out a lot. Yeah. The next question is it worth paying extra $25 just to get the deluxe because of the DLCs? And for what I know right now, okay, I think most of the DLCs is gonna be cosmetic wise. Hopefully it's if you say story and an additional story task, that would be cool, but that would be pay gated. So that's tough. That's tough. That's the reason why I don't like DLCs. I really don't. Yeah, because it's a lose-lose situation. Okay. Yeah. No. Okay. But I can safely say I would say probably if you're on the fence, wait for discount, get the base version. Simple as that. If you are really a day one player, you want to cover the game, I want to cover the game, so most likely I'll get the Ultimate Edition, although it's not gonna be the most value. Yeah, again though, again, really, like the only value in this game, right? You're getting the Ultimate Edition is most likely these two items. Digital art book, digital soundtrack is basically the bonus, I would say. Uh if it's a physical art book, sure. Yeah. $27, sure. I can pay. Digital art book is a different story. Soundtrack, okay, fine. $9.99. That's my staple price for anything digital soundtrack, right? $9.99. Done. Some people will argue otherwise. Oh my goodness. Okay. I think that's that. I really cannot talk about what I can recommend because I don't even like the good news is that the price tag is not too crazy on the Ultimate Edition if I were to compare to other Ultimate Edition game, but at the same time, yeah, people who are on the fence, I can easily say wait for game review, see some gameplay. Hopefully, you can see some of my gameplay that I'm gonna put up on YouTube, and then you make a judgment out of it. Like I said, you really will not miss out if this follows exactly the same formula as Conan Exiles. And with that, that's all I have for you for today. Before we end, we want to take a look at the publisher sale and see what we have. Cool. Yeah, 65. Luckily, it's not 79.99. It's 79.99 easy. Yeah, easy. Just wait. So yeah, I have the base version. I didn't buy the expansion. I didn't buy the complete edition. Even look at that complete edition is crazy. All the DLCs. So I'm gonna take a look at DLCs just for the fun of it. Okay, just for the fun of it. You get Conan Exile. This is an expansion. This is just a DLC pack. And this is a fun little, I would say, small little story-ish. It's not really a story. It's just if you watch Conan, you probably know what is this. Okay. So there you go. It's mainly cosmetic pack. So yeah, deluxe pack for Dune Awakening not really needed. If I look at all this, right, the only one you want to see is this expansion. Yeah, I can easily buy 90% off, $4.99. Yeah, you can try out Conan Exiles if you want to, and it's yeah, if you want to, but because it's 90% off, and I can easily recommend any games that is on discount, and especially if you have a massive 90% off, easy recommendation. If you want to know how Dune Awakening would be, you can try out Conan Exiles. Okay, So that's that. Yeah. Full bundle, I won't even bother with the full bundle. So in that case, you probably know where my decision lies. Most likely just get the base version and be done with it. Ah, but I'm a sucker. Alright, that's all I have for you for today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and help this channel grow. And of course, I will end with this. Do not pre-order any game if you are on the fence. If you are, what you call this? Obviously, number one, if you're on the fence. Number two, if financial reasons, games are expensive, okay? This, especially if you are going to this type of price point, that is, yeah, all right. So, all right, make a wise decision. Hopefully, this video is a little bit of, I mean, helps you decide a little bit, or at least gives you some information. Thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't like it, comment if you think I can improve. Until then, I will see you guys in the next video. May 15, May 15. 7 weeks. What am I looking at? 7 weeks. All right, I'll try. In fact, I want to cover this on day one.